I was very spoiled for this conference. I just drove a little bit south. So it's my pleasure to meet all of you that flew to our wonderful area during our beautiful spring season. And I'm supposed to be on the soccer field right now, but I'm not. I'm here with you. And so that has something to do about honoring mothers, right? My husband definitely honored me this morning. And I have to say that I want to wish you all a happy Mother's Day weekend. This is a very spiritual time for those of us that are faith-guided, that know that our children were gifts from God, and that we walk in that light. And as I walk in the room, when I come to a conference like this, no matter where I go in the world, I feel your energy. I was raised by an energy healer. Then I married into the most conservative Republican, family that you can imagine. And my husband is he'll be my greatest life's work when I meet God. So I'm somewhere in the middle of all of that. But I definitely want you guys all to know that I come here for me. Yes. This is a soul parade. Amen. I love a soul parade. It's better than church. You guys, this is therapy. This is the best kind of therapy. Watching everybody get up in front of the room, talk from their soul to you, share their authentic truth, their rawness, be brave in it. I'm like moved to emotion by it. And girlfriend, you just spoke before me. You would I'm like your evidence. That's what I was thinking. She just parlayed me. She just and when she said that we were all weaved by something greater than us, right? To the people in this room, you were walking in your truth. You gave it light. The Holy Spirit is here with us. Yes. Before we walked in the room. And for you, Melissa, honey, you're just here to be the next speaker that says, I am a global speaker. I'm serious. Okay, so that's my minute of pause just with you guys for a second. Okay, so what I meant to talk to you about today. I really am not scripted at all. I'm a speaker that feels your energy, and then I work cathartically through what it is I'm going to share. I have purpose in everything that I do. I'm an extrovert naturally. But I definitely want to give you something of value right now. Okay? And whatever you get from me, I just hope you take whatever nugget that is, and I hope that you put it into action. Okay? So I decided to put this on the first slide, the work beneath the work. You can hear my abstract and my titles and all those good accolades that you'll find online that have been given, right? Blah, 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 blah. The most important thing is how you make people feel. My mama taught me that, right? And it doesn't matter who you are. You can have the fanciest title. I could be working for you or vice versa. You could be working for me. Who are you? Think about that. So your energy, like she said, walks in the room before you. The work beneath work. I did some work that I didn't expect. So I go to an authors conference in Kentucky every year for the last 10 years. There's a woman who's 80 years old. She's walking administration. She has 130 anthologies, and she's my publisher. I self-published for many years now. And she asked me at this soul parade that I was in Kentucky last August as I walked out the room, Nicole, I'd really like you. Are you from there? We haven't met there yet. You're a PWN sister?
No, but I'm from Louisville.
Oh, you're from Louisville? Well. I love someone who knows 4th Street and where we can go on the walk on 4th Street, so it's nice to meet you, sister. So Linda Eastman is in Louisville, and she came up to me and she said, Nicole, I'd like you to contribute to another book that we're doing, and I typically write books, not just contribution author, but I have books. And she said, I want you to write an article or a contribution of this, and the book is called Legacies. And I was like, it didn't resonate with me at all. I heard legacy, and I'm like, I'm in my 40s, raising kids, building a business. Like, I'm somewhere in the middle. To me, legacy is like something on the finish line. Does it? Red, are you guys like, when you hear legacy, if I came up to you and said, what's your legacy? How does it strike you? Feel it for a minute. And then, do you guys feel like you're in the middle of whatever you're doing? Yes? I'm in the middle of whatever I'm doing, I feel like. And so I was like, I got nothing to say about legacy. And then I get on the plane flying home from Louisville, and I'm with a girlfriend, another soul sister from Chicago who's an author and a female woman business owner. And she's all talking. I'm going to contribute to this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to Ireland. I'm going to find my grandmother's history. I'm going to do it from my mother's perspective and the 3 generations of the women that were survivors and all of that. And I felt her energy, and I was like, that makes sense. That's cool, that's legacy, right? So I was like, good for you, girl, go, right? Go get it. And then all of a sudden, I let it go. And my publisher called me again, and she said, Nicole, I'm gonna scholarship you. I want you to really contribute. And I said, yeah, I told you, I didn't really have a legacy. You guys, that's where I was in 2025, and I'm emotional about it because as I prepared through this topic, thanks to Kirti, by the way, so 4 months later went on. 4 months. I get back at school. The conference is in August. I have kids. I don't know about you guys, but August is like get the kids in school. You're just really busy. Next thing you know, it's like Thanksgiving, and then you get into your gratitude, and you're trying to figure out what you accomplished in the year, and you're just in this vibration. And I don't know about you, but if you're raising kids like me, you're on the hamster wheel. My husband and I divide and conquer all day, and you're just trying to get through the next day, and that's how I roll day to day. So it's truly where I came back, and I listened to her again. She kept calling. But Kirti sent a message to me on LinkedIn. And I get a lot of messages just like everybody else, right? You guys all get hit up, tons of traffic, of digital traffic. And for whatever reason with the Holy Spirit, Kirti hit me on the right day. Who knows why I listened to Kirti's message? I have no idea. But I know today, as I talk to you today, that was divine. Isn't that crazy? Okay, so what did Kirti say to me that was divine? He goes, Nicole, have you published anything lately? Do you have anything that you want to say? And I said, well, I'm not really writing anything right now, but I did do a gratitude letter that I'm sending out to my clients and my employees this year. And so I could just send you the gratitude letter that I sent. It's just like a small little article. And so I sent it over to Kirti, and he replied within, 24 hours, and he gave these, how about we publish this, and I'd like to give it one of these 3 titles. Do any of these resonate with you? And I read Reflections of an Author on Leadership and Humanity in the 21st Century. And I was like, oh, Kirti, I kind of like that one. And I grabbed that, and then they published it, and the rest is history. I'm here. Now, what's interesting is that I didn't know that gratitude letter that I wrote was actually me claiming my legacy that I didn't know I was walking in. And I put it on LinkedIn. It's on my LinkedIn profile as my Reflections of 2025. It's going into the Legacy book. And I'll be the opening speaker in Kentucky this summer with this same subject matter. And I thank God for this. I thank God for all of you. I thank God for the moment and the awareness that I just came to closure on a cathartic chapter I just walked through. We are all walking through a cathartic, healing chapter of your soul. Amen. And I mean that. And sometimes if you move as fast as Nicole Martin, you miss it. Because you're like, I did this, and I did this, and the next thing you know, you look back and like, poof, wow, oh! That's how I roll. So the poof, wow, oh, was that I'm in the 2%. What does that mean? I'm in the 2%. So we all talk about the 1%. What's the 2%? Well, when I started my business, which I didn't know I was going to have, when I decided that I was going to go ahead and build $1 million firm someday in my lifetime, because I want to have $1 million boutique firm. Who the hell doesn't want that? I didn't know why I wanted $1 million firm. I just knew that it made it sound like it was a real business. Well, I built that big, hairy, audacious goal many years ago with my team. And when we hit it in 2021, I was 44 years old. And I Googled right away. Because that was my big, hairy, audacious goal, you guys. When I'm like retired, we would hit it. Whoops. I'm like 40 something. Now what? Because I gotta have a goal. I gotta have a challenge. So if I hit my challenge out the door with my team, hoo-yah team, like, wow, that's awesome. But what the heck does that mean? And I've been going through this kind of question. And when I look back at it saying, okay, I'm in the 2%, what is that? Well, guess what you get on Google when you say, what is it? When a woman builds a business from scratch and scales it to 7 figures, guess how many women do that? Say it all together. 2%. Less than 2%. And for the 100% of the VC money in our country, which is a lot of money, you guys. Yes. Venture capital money is a lot of money in our country. Less than 2% is invested in women-owned businesses. So we're not just building businesses. Say it out loud. You guys are building businesses. Are you a freelancer in this room? Did you write a book? Yes. Say it.
Yes.
I'm in business. Yes. And we're not just building businesses, right, Ezra? We're shifting possibilities.
Love it, yes.
We are shifting the energy of what the future is. If you believe that we've just lived through the biggest change after COVID of conscientiousness delivered throughout society to call all the healers forward, and you are some of them, this is God's work. It's like, da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da, poof. Wow, okay. Get ready for it. You're all on it. If you're in this room, you're on it already. What's interesting is that when I go back, once you hit a big, hairy, audacious goal, before I can create another goal, I kind of have to just own it and live in it and go, how did I become part of the 2%? And I went way back to feel myself again. You have to go way back, like these childhood patterns that you were talking about, Tracy, right? And so I go way back, and I remember the moment that all of this sort of happened, which is not an isolated story that is just mine, but it's an isolation chapter for many, many women who become mothers. So I, like many women, went to school, worked hard, got all the way to what I thought my goals would be, my credentials, my degrees, etc., and then got the job that I wanted, earned the money that I wanted, became the one woman on a 10-man team, did all this stuff, hit the peak of my career of what I thought it could be, and then I married the man of my dreams, and he wants me to give it up and be a stay-at-home mom. And he asked me if I was willing to do that, and at the time I remember saying yes, because I wanted to be a mother more than anything. And it was almost like this kind of suburbia like dream or something coming from Montana. It's like, yeah, I'll be that nice housewife. I dream of being domestic. There's nothing domestic about me. My husband cooks all my meals, I swear to God. So if you think about this, there's this societal thing that happens to us. It may not have been told to you by your own mother. I was raised by a single mother. It wasn't told to me by my mother, right? It's society kind of has these like predicated just personas that we kind of absorb as men and women. My husband had a persona that he was going to put a roof over my head and take care of me, and right, he thinks that this is his formula to success. And I came home, and I remember I was pregnant. And I found out I was pregnant, and this is 2008, 2009. Those of you who are old enough as me to remember the recession, right? 2008, 2009. Yeah. I was pregnant with my firstborn. He's now 17 and taller than me. And I have to go back to that moment where I went to my boss and I quit my job. He says, what are you doing? I said, I'm quitting my job. He goes, why? I said, because I'm going to be a mother. And he said, Nicole, what do you want? And I said, I only want to come in one day a week. I'm going to go volunteer with kids in Waukegan, which is a suburb north of here. And they have a Cristo Day Rey school, which is awesome school, by the way. This is where kids go to school 4 days a week and then work in the real world on Friday, and the company pays their tuition for their private program. I'm like, every school's man, but another subject, another day. Anyway, I was doing that, and he goes, well, can we still be best and brightest company to work for? And I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, well, like if you just stayed here and you went and want to come in one day a week. And I'm like, well, I guess I could still run the team. And he goes, could you still hit all the metrics and everything and send us leadership summary dashboards and run the girls that work for you and all that? And I was like, oh, yes, I could. And he goes, okay, get out of my office. He goes, what day are you coming in next week? I said, Wednesday. He says, okay, get out of my office. I was lucky? No. I'd proven myself somehow. But that man trusted. Once in a while, you'll meet a man that trusts.
Yes.
Show up.
Yes.
So I ended up learning what is my business now before I even knew I'd have a business one day by being fractional HR and still delivering full-time results. And it's really funny, the last CEO introduced me to my first CEO, and I share this story with you because I didn't mean to be a business owner. But I am one now. But boy, that's been 15 years. I've been in business for 15 years. I've hired 58 professionals to work for me. We've served 800 companies in Chicagoland. I didn't call myself a CEO day one. I called myself something like, I think I called myself the executive director, which is like something that leads up not-for-profits, right? I don't even remember what I called myself back then. But I share this with you intentionally. I was not in business. I was introduced to my first retainer client who became my investor. Still owns 15% now today. I'll tell you that story. And anyway, he ended up introducing me to my first client. right? All your warm introductions go baton, baton, baton. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Pay attention to the batons.
Mm-hmm.
How do they come to you? From spirit? Or be real present with that. Thank you. So when you think about that and you have that opportunity, this man came to me and said, Nicole, we want to build a business we're 10 million right now, we want to be 28 million, we want to sell for 58 million in 36 months. So there's a lot of people, sometimes they have a lot of money and they have big dreams, but even in Chicago, some of these M&A people, like they talk about it, but do they do it, right? So I was lucky enough to be in the situation where I was actually partnering with these people while they rode this ride, and we did it. And we flexed their HR model from like when they were 15 employees all the way up to when they were 300 employees and they sold, and then we followed them through due diligence. Now that's my work, that's what I do. I build HR from scratch. Always done it, nothing new, right? What's new is that the president of the company at the end came up to me and he said, Nicole, I really like your business. Do you know what I said? I'm not in business, I'm a consultant. Think about that, you guys. That was me 15 years ago. Okay? Think about that.